Hey everybody, it's Greg again. It's another edition of Unbreakable the podcast. Thursday, January 16th. Well, I already posted an episode. We did our movie classic of the week, 12 Angry Men. It's up. It's only like 15 minutes, so check it out. One of my favorite movies of all time. Today on the regular show, I want to talk about those playoff games coming up, including the Eagles game. But first of all, I just heard that the great Bob Uecker passed away today. Bob Uecker, I tell you, he was funny. He was a funny guy. You know Bob Uecker. He used to play baseball for the St. Louis Cardinals, Phillies, Braves back in the 60s. He sucked. He was terrible. He was like a 200 hitter. 1967, he was a catcher. He led the entire National League in pass balls and errors. He was terrible. But what he did was had a great sense of humor, and he made fun of himself. The way he played, the way he sucked. He appeared on Johnny Carson's show, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, over 100 times. 100 times. Carson loved him. And we used to make Carson crack up. And the thing about Uecker, he had a straight face the whole time, the whole time. In fact, one line he had was, he was so bad, the endorsement companies like Schick Razor used to pay him for not endorsing their products. He was really bad. But he was so funny. And he kept a straight face the whole time. That's the best part about Uecker. Google it today in honor of Bob Uecker. Go to YouTube and look up the Johnny Carson show, Johnny Carson with Bob Uecker. Trust me, you'll laugh. It's just great. 90 years old, he was still broadcasting games for the Milwaukee Brewers. He was a Brewer announcer for over 50 years. It's incredible. Incredible. In fact, he did a lot of commercials. You remember the commercials back in the 70s and 80s? He would again make fun of himself, where he would be down. You remember that commercial down there in the dugout looking for a seat, and they would the usher would say, "What are you doing down there?" I'm looking for my seat. You don't sit down here. I must be in the front row. I must be in the front row. And here they end up taking them all the way to the upper deck in the back. In fact, at Milwaukee Stadium, they have a life-size bronze statue of Uecker sitting in a seat as far back as you can get in the nosebleed section. And you could actually go up and sit next to Uecker up there. But I never got to meet him, but apparently he was a nice guy as well as a funny guy. So Bob Uecker, rest in peace, huh? And he's actually in the Hall of Fame. He's in the Hall of Fame in the Broadcasters World. I think he got in around 2003. So we're back to, but rest in peace, Bob Uecker. All right. Let's talk about these football games. So let's start with the Saturday games, okay? You got the Houston Texans playing at Kansas City. Well, Houston, they took care of the Chargers. They keep wanting to call them San Diego Chargers. They're not the LA Chargers. I think the Chargers were a little distracted because of the wildfires that's going on out in LA. They didn't play a good game at all. They just Justin Herbert wasn't himself. 4 interceptions. When does he do that? But the Texans, they had a good game plan and everyone. You know what it is. A lot of these teams play well. They surprise teams in the first round, in the wild card round, they call it. But then when you get them in the next round, which they're calling the divisional round, the round coming up this weekend, they come back to earth. I think that's what's going to happen this week. I think the Chiefs are going to take care of business. Yeah, I mean, the Chiefs aren't what they used to be. Again, I gave you that statistic. For a team that was 15-2 during the regular season, um, they did not score 30 points in a game at all. No game 30 points. They don't they don't blow people away like they used to. You know? Back in the Tyreek Hill days, when Mahomes would throw the ball up there and just let Tyreek Hill run on them. You know? But they still win. They still win. They have solid defense. It's hard to run against them. They're adding on pieces on offense. They still have Andy Reid. They still have Patrick Mahomes. And it's a home game. It's going to be cold in Kansas City on Saturday. And don't forget, Houston plays. So they play in a dome down there in Houston, and so they're not used to this outdoors, especially cold. That's going to make a difference. Look what we saw last year when the Miami Dolphins had to go play in Kansas City. Remember that Saturday night game? And it was on a Peacock or something, and like everybody was bitching about, oh, why are they putting the playoff games on and these channels that we can't get? But that's what happened. You remember we played in Kansas City, it was freezing out, and the Dolphins just didn't look like themselves. I think that's what's going to happen. I think Kansas City is on a mission. They want to be the first team in NFL history to win 3 Super Bowls in a row. And even though they didn't play up to their standards during the regular season, I think Kansas City will wake up this Saturday and take care of Houston. So, and the line reflects that. I mean, Kansas City, last time I looked, was 8.5 point favorites. I could be wrong, but I think Kansas City takes care of them. All right, so then the other game on Saturday. You've got the other team with the first round bye, the Lions, the #1 seed. They're hosting the Washington Commanders. Now, this game I feel a little differently. I'll tell you what. Again, you could say the same thing about the Commanders as we've said about the Houston Texans. That, okay, they had their week. Washington beat Tampa Bay. They upset them in Tampa Bay. And they're going to come back to reality this week. And I think the Lions are going to win the game. I think it's going to be a close game. I just got a feeling Washington's going to play them tough. I really do. Washington doesn't have a great team. They have an okay team. Jalen Daniels is going to keep them in the game. He's just he can run, he can throw. He's a solid quarterback. And the thing about Washington is they're winning this year in mysterious ways. What that? I mean, they're the team that hit that Hail Mary against the Bears, that last second play. They look at last week, kicked the game-winning field goal. Their kicker hits the upright, doink, and instead of bouncing back onto the field, it goes through the goalpost and wins the game. And just Washington just seems like a lucky team this year. So I don't know. I think they're going to play the Lions close. I think the thing is they're playing indoors. The Lions are powerful. I think it's going to take the Lions a little bit to get going on Saturday. I think the Lions are pretty bagged up. They needed last week to kind of heal up, but they still have some guys out. Now they're excellent running back David Montgomery, maybe back this week if he's not there. Gibbs. Yeah, Washington's run defense is awful, just terrible. So either way, I think Detroit is going to be able to run them. And we know Jared Goff, can pass to St. Brown and Williams, Laporta, and tight end. But he's got so many weapons. It's unbelievable. But the defense is banged up. I think it's going to be a high scoring game because I think these teams are going to up and down the field. And surprisingly, Washington is even more of an underdog than Houston is. Washington, last time I looked, was 9.5 point underdogs in Detroit Saturday night. I think Washington keeps it close. I really do. I think both teams might score 30 points, maybe 35-31 kind of a game, 38-35. I wouldn't expect Washington to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if we keep it close. Let's see the Eagles delivers that. All right, so we're jumping ahead to the Sunday night game, 6 o'clock. Ravens at Bills. What a game. What a game. I mean, you've got Baltimore who are playing really, really well. They dispatched of the Steelers last week. Really, no problem. I mean, Mark Jackson is playing like an MVP. Derrick Henry is running all over the damn place. They are banged up, though. Defense is banged up, and it looks like they may not have Zay Flowers back this week, who's the top wide receiver. That hurts them because he is more of their speed wide receiver. He'll take the top off of the defense. I mean, they have some other good wide receivers. They have Mark Andrews, the tight end. They have Likely, the tight end. Not of weapons. Not of weapons. But the Bills, I think, are destined. I think the Bills win. I can't believe that the Bills are underdogs at home. Can you believe that? They're playing up in Buffalo. Well, it's going to be frigid up there. I mean, it's going to be cold here in Pennsylvania Sunday. You can imagine what's going to be like in Buffalo, New York. The Bills went undefeated at home this year. Undefeated. They definitely have the home field advantage up there. Playing on grass, that fan base up there was wild and crazy. And the weather. And yet the Bills are underdogs. Okay. I just think the Ravens are a good team, and I think they're a little overrated. Yeah, Lamar Jackson is great. Throw the ball, run in the ball. It's got Derrick Henry he can hand off to all night. But Buffalo, I just think Buffalo at home is going to be tough. I mean, Josh Allen is, to me, just as much of an MVP candidate as Lamar Jackson is. I mean, Allen is playing great. He can run, he can throw too. The Bills have a lot of weapons as well. Defense is playing okay. I think it's going to be a great game, but I just can't see the Bills losing at home again. The Bills have had so many chances to get to the Super Bowl. They've never even gotten it, let alone win it. I don't know. Just something tells me this is the Bills' year. Now, at least to get to the Super Bowl. Something just tells me. So I have to lead Buffalo on Sunday. I have to, especially at home. I think it's going to be a hell of a game though. But so I would take Buffalo in points. I mean, it may be a 1 point game. Right now, I looked this morning, Buffalo is getting 1.5 points. So that's how close it is. All right, then we come to the Eagles. And I've been telling you all week, I love the Eagles to cover this game and win this game and move on to the NFC Championship game. Now, the line is still 6. The Eagles are favored by 6. That's a key number because that's a touchdown. I think the Eagles could cover that number. Number one, I think the Eagles are going to play a lot better than they did last week. I think Jalen Hurts was rusty coming off of the concussion. The game plan screwed up too. I mean, Saquon Barkley's going to give you a lot of yards. But they didn't throw the ball enough to A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown gets 1 catch for 10 yards. No wonder he was reading the book on the bench. He was bored. I think AJ Brown has a big game because that's the MO. The Eagles always do that. When they don't give AJ the ball and he complains, then the following week he gets the ball. He may have 10 catches this week. He may have 150 yards receiving. Right? And don't forget, when the Eagles played the Rams earlier in the season, AJ Brown had 101 yards receiving. He helped the Eagles destroy the Rams. So it wouldn't be a surprise to me to see them feed AJ, especially early on. Now, you know what the Eagles do. Saquon Barkley gets most of his rushing yards in the second half of games. I think the same thing's going to happen this week. I think they're going to feed AJ or Saquon. Why fix something that's not broken, right? Feed Saquon, but I think the Eagles are going to try to get out in front, get the lead. They've been playing better in the first quarters than they used to. And then in the second quarter, when it's time to work the clock a little bit, by then the weather might be getting worse because from the forecast, I understand maybe late afternoon, early evening, chance of snow showers and getting colder and windy. So that's when you let Saquon Barkley handle the ball and run the ball, keep the clock moving. So I just think the Eagles, again, are a lot like the Chiefs and Bills. They have they're on a mission, to get back to the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. I just think the Rams, coming off that emotional win last week, they were very emotional Monday night because of the wildfires in LA. They didn't seem distracted like the Chargers were. In fact, the Rams seem to be even more enthusiastic and more motivated than before. But can they keep that up? How usually a team can only keep that up 1 week or so. Now the Rams have to travel cross country. They have to play in weather they're not used to playing in because they play indoors and they play in California. So now you're sticking the Rams outdoors, possibly in snow showers. I just like the Eagles this week. And it's not the homer in me talking. I'm looking at it realistically. I think the Eagles play better. I think the Rams don't play as well. And the Rams have no shot. You always have to fear Matthew Stafford, because he's a good quarterback and he's got experience. The one thing with the Rams is the Rams have been there. They won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. They know what it takes to win. So would I be surprised if the Rams won? Yeah, because I'm not expecting the Rams to win. But then again, emotion can carry you, right? To me, if the Rams win this week in Philadelphia against this Eagles team, forget. I think the Rams win the Super Bowl because this is about as tough of a place as you're going to get to play in the cold, in the snow, with the fan base that we have. On a short week, don't forget the Rams play Monday night. Everything is against the Rams. If for some reason they end up winning this game, who's to say they can't go to Detroit next week if the Lions win and beat them there, right? So I just think the Eagles will take this game this week. 13, 14 points, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like I said, the weather's going to have a lot to do with stuff. I mean, if it's nasty enough outside, I don't mind so much the snow showers. If it's windy, that affects the passing, that affects the kicking. How windy is it going to get Sunday afternoon into Sunday? Luckily, the Eagles have a really great running game. If they need to pound the ball, they're built for this kind of weather. Northeast in January, Saquon Barkley, Kenny Gainwell. You just pound it. Jalen Hurts occasionally runs the ball. If you have to go that way, you go that way. Right? The key, like in any football game, is turnovers. You don't give the Rams a short field by turning the ball over in your side of the field. You make the Rams earn their way down the field. And when we get into the red zone, you cash in. You've got to cash in for points, preferably touchdowns over field goals. So let's see what happens. But I think it's going to be a very interesting weekend. I really do. I think Chiefs win Saturday. Saturday night, Lions probably. But again, wouldn't be surprised if Washington gives a good game. Sunday, I like the Bills in an upset, and I like the Eagles to take care of business. That would set up a great 2 games next weekend for the conference championships, AFC, AFC. Eagles, Lions. I mean, it's been headed that way all year, right? Chiefs, Bills, Chiefs, Ravens. That's great games. So we'll see what happens. What else? I think that's about it. So I'll be back again probably tomorrow. If not, definitely on Saturday. Saturday morning, we'll talk about the games before they occur. So we're going to have a whole weekend of football coming up. And don't forget, Monday night is that college football game, the Ohio State against Notre Dame. Last time I looked, Ohio State was favored by 8 points. That's a pretty good line. You're talking about the championship game, and one team is favored by 8. That's a lot. Ohio State is really, really good. But I don't know. I'm just saying. I'll have some more thoughts about that in the weekend and then Monday. But 8 points seems like a lot of points. But anyway, okay. Everybody have a great night, huh? No Sixers tonight. They lost again last night. Forget them. Flyers do play today, so we can check them. Okay, everybody. Peace and love to you. Talk to you tomorrow. And rest in peace, Bob Uecker. He's definitely in the front row now. Hopefully in the front row of heaven. With all the other baseball greats, huh? Up there talking about the game. Okay. See you guys later. Take care. Bye.